Hello, and welcome to another episode of Bodied, a Cloud9 fan cast. As always, I'm your host, Havoclus, and I'm joined by my co-host, Frozen Creek. How are you doing today, Frozen?
I'm doing pretty well. It's Wednesday, July 22nd, and that means that my favorite soccer team, Liverpool, is lifting the Premier League trophy for the first time in 30 years today. So
Oh, wow,
it's
30
happening
years.
in an hour from when we are recording, so I need to be done by then. So we are on a very long clock,
We're on the clock.
a very long one, but on a clock
That's pretty
nonetheless.
impressive.
I mean, no, it should have happened a while ago, but they're back on top, so I'm happy with
That's
it.
good.
Yeah, and
I've uh, I've been continuing to read comics. That's what I've been
I
doing
figured.
during my
I
break.
figured. Yeah, I also beat the main story of Dragon Quest like 2 hours ago while I was waiting
Oh,
for
sick.
work to
Was it is
happen.
that
So
good? Is that a good game?
yeah, you like Final Fantasies. So once you're done, I'd recommend it. It's
Okay.
JRPG thing, so it's what you expect. I guess there's a ton of post game content, so I can't decide if I want to play that or go to my backlog of Switch games. So we'll see.
All right. Well, that sounds pretty dope. Let's uh let's dive right into it. Uh, we have first off we have a PUBG update for everybody, and we're on I guess day 6, day 7 maybe of the PUBG League that we're currently participating in for PUBG Mobile team, and we're actually sitting in second place. We're like neck and neck almost with first place. We've been getting a lot of like chicken dinners, and we've been playing really well. We've been playing pretty well lately, so we've been sitting on top for a little while now, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, I watched the first day or so, but I keep missing the tweets of when they're playing, so I'm missing the games.
See, I get the tweets, but by the time I tune in, or I remember to tune in, they've moved on to a match that doesn't have our team playing. So
Yeah, same.
it's like I'm not gonna watch this if our team isn't playing, and so I turn it off, and then I'll just wait for the like the update tweet to come out.
Or do you get like a special calendar or something as a Discord mod? Or do you
No,
guys
I
just
basically
see
just
the tweet and then whoever gets there first posts it?
I basically just set notifications to where I get a notification on my phone through like Twitter, and then whenever I see that they've tweeted something, I go in, and then I guess in terms of the announcements, it's kind of a first come first serve kind of deal. But
Okay.
I don't get anything like super special, which is
Sucks because like you're doing a bunch of free work, but I guess it's part of the job.
sometimes they do give me free merch. I will say that I'm not doing it completely for nothing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not like on like super frequent or anything. It's like very very rare. But sometimes I will get like a T-shirt or something.
All right, that's kind of worth maybe because I feel like it's not that much work, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, like a few years ago, I was able to like get basically a jersey, which is pretty great because those cost like around like $60, I think,
Yeah,
and so getting one for free is a really big plus.
yeah. You would think they'd hook you guys up a little bit more than that, but
I'm not complaining.
actually, I think I just saw Cloud9 tweet PUBG was playing right now.
Ooh, right now
Of course, it's as we record, but
by the minute news updates.
yeah. So you will get this a day after the fact, and our results at that point will be late. But as of now, we are in second place. But moving on to Rainbow Six because I've already stalled enough.
Rainbow Six beat Q Confirm 7-3 in their latest APAC match. They looked pretty good. I was able to watch that one. It was a good match. There wasn't anything super crazy or especially going on. I think they said that we were really close to, I think, moving away from whatever they're doing right now from the group stage to going into the, I guess maybe the bracket stage. I think we're maybe like we're really close to getting into that, but we need to like pick up a few more wins. And I think maybe some teams need to lose. I think.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I didn't get a chance to watch the last game for some reason. I don't remember why. Did you watch it?
I watched it. Like it was pretty good. Like all of our players were making some really good plays and shooting people through walls and such. You know, it was pretty. I guess you'd say it's a pretty standard game. I don't really have a lot of notes on it specifically, but we played well.
Yeah, good. I assume it was not quite as hype as the Fnatic match, but a win's a win.
Yeah, exactly. I guess moving on, we have some really good Valorant results. The Valorant team, which now consists of Tens, Relics, and Mitch. So we're just missing two more slots to really be a fully formed roster. They won the E United charity event. You know, this is a charity event, so there was no like prize money, but we came in first. We played against Way2 French, I think, in our first game, and then our next game we played against Echo 8, which actually was a bit controversial since one or two of their players that they were playing with, they were stand-ins. They weren't like official players. They were just gotten in last minute, but a couple of players that they were playing with in Echo 8 were actually cheating. So that was kind of weird to hear about, but it also feels more vindicating that we actually beat them. And then we beat Gen G pretty handily, actually. And Gen G is one of the top, looking to be one of the top North American Valorant teams. So we looked really good in that event, and it was pretty good. We were doing a lot more interesting stuff. Tens was playing a whole bunch of stuff. He played like Reyna, and he pulled out his Viper, which is always nice to see. And it was a good time.
It must feel really bad to cheat and still lose.
Yeah, like to get these cheats or whatever to help you get like an unfair advantage against your opponent, and they still come around and like narrowly beat you in a charity tournament. That's the thing that's so crazy.
Yeah,
This wasn't like
exactly.
a tournament. This wasn't a tournament for money. This was for charity, and they just cheated anyway. Like, why would you do this?
I mean, I guess they must think that people are watching and they're trying to get a job, so they want to perform well, but you're gonna get caught cheating. Like it's not, or it's obviously pretty easy to catch someone cheating because doesn't Riot make you restart the game or something after you download it or something?
Yeah,
to prevent cheating.
Yeah, their anti-cheat software is, I guess, fairly alert. I think the thing is like it has to kind of be known. Like I think that like it has to have maybe like certain programs flagged for it to click through your computer and be like, ah, yes, you're cheating. Like he got banned. I think it was earlier this week. I think it was maybe like Monday that he got banned. So it was, you know, and the tournament happened like last week. So it was like he played, and then I guess however the software works, he got banned maybe over the weekend or something, or maybe after that tournament. Who knows? I'm not sure how it works 100%, but the cheating software did eventually find him, I think, and he did get banned. But it was really weird, and I actually read like a twit longer that they posted, and it was basically like, yeah, you know, it's this problem that I've always had. You know, I'll grind out in a game, and I'll try to climb as high as I can, and I'll get fairly high, but then I'll just get so completely bored with the game that I'll just start using like cheats, even like minor cheats, just so I can have fun and not have as much pressure with winning and a whole bunch of other stuff. It was actually kind of an interesting sort of psychological dive into why someone would to use cheats, especially for someone like they were like a Fortnite player, and so they you know, they bounced around to like a whole bunch of games. They'd do the same thing. Like they'd grind at kind of a high spot, they'd get really bored and then they would cheat to I guess make the game more exciting and fun again, because they would be able to win a lot more and more easily.
I'm going to say I don't think they're getting bored. I think they're just getting beat and they're like, no, we need to cheat now.
I was just stating what their words were.
Yeah, but no, that's
Yeah,
a pathetic excuse for someone trying to go pro in a game, and I'm glad they
yeah.
did
It was
get caught.
it was very weird watching it all unfold. It was, and the thing that like just messes with me was it was a charity event. Like, why would you do that? But
Yeah, like you didn't get paid, and you just lost your chance at a professional gig
yeah, basically.
in Valorant, so you're just screwed.
Yeah. But I guess on some other news, I guess starting today, July 22nd, technically. So this is kind of a little late, but the Valorant team is going to be gearing up to play in the PAX Arena group stage. The event's actually pretty stacked. It has a lot of teams, a lot of big name teams. Like, it has TSM, Genji. T1 is there. Envy, which used to be the terrific team, which is really good. Immortals are there. Sentinels, Renegades. Mango is actually going to be playing, which is actually kind of hype because it's like Mango along with Hysteria, who also used to be a Cloud9 player, and he is going to be, playing in Mango's going to be playing in Group C with Genji and Immortals. We're going to be playing Group D with Sentinels, Renegades, Complexity, and Owl. Owl is like one of those org lists, just kind of throw a team together type deal. But it should be a really fun event just because of the amount of talent that's involved in this one. This is one of the bigger like Valorant events that's going on.
Damn, that's super hype. So you said that starts Wednesday night, or is it Thursday night?
It starts tonight.
Okay. So you will, listeners will be a day behind on that, but I assume it'll be going on all weekend.
Yeah. So like the group stage, I believe, is tonight and tomorrow night, and then I would assume how it works is, and how they've been doing it, kind of for the most part, top 2 teams in each group are going to be moving on to like the playoff stage, and then from there it's pretty self-explanatory. But it'll be interesting to watch. I want to see if it's best of 1 or best of 3 because I can't remember. Oh, okay, it is a best of 3. So yeah, each game will be like a best of 3 format kind of deal, and they play in the groups, and then they'll see who gets out and everything. But it should be good. I'm really excited, especially with all the talent involved.
Yeah, this should be fun. I'll see if I can tune in tonight and tomorrow then. Yeah, before I go up
For
north.
sure. Yeah, if the team does really well tonight, I can expect Shinobi and Vice to just be signed if they do well in this event, because everyone else has been playing really, really well lately. It looks like they've kind of locked down who does what and who plays who, so they're not trying to experiment and do a bunch of crazy stuff. So it'll be really fun. I'm really looking forward to it. But, moving on, London Spitfire, they came back to play some more. And they lost again. They lost 1-3 to the Guangzhou Charge. And on top of that, they also let go of their assistant coach, SNT.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
I'm not sure what to say about letting go of SNT. It could be a couple of things. It could just be that with the coaching situation, maybe it's just, we have too many voices, and maybe he's just not contributing as much. What he does really isn't needed. Maybe he just didn't like how the direction the team was going. Who knows? It could be a lot of things. I'm more concerned with losing to Guangzhou 1-3, since it seemed to be that we were improving enough to where we could beat Guangzhou, and us losing to them kind of puts us back at square one of, well, how strong are we really? This is a team that does need to kind of bounce back and kind of start improving and getting some wins and everything, because I'm really not sure where the team is going to land at the end of the season. Who are we going to pick, who are we going to leave, all that nonsense. It's really up in the air, to be sure, and I'm just not sure what's going to happen to pretty much any of the players. They're all rookies. I think that any one of them could be let go at any moment, if they're just not performing well enough. So who really knows what's going to happen with this roster at the end of the season, or this team just in general.
Yeah, and they're now in a tough spot of getting to playoffs. They are only a game or two back, but
I think it's going to be
their match
hard.
difference
We're
is
definitely
bad.
gonna lose this weekend. Saturday we play against Shanghai Dragons. I feel so bad saying this, but I have no faith that we will win this game.
Yeah, me
And
neither.
then, I believe the next day, or the next week rather, we play against the Hangzhou Spark, and we could beat them. I would think so, but
Yeah, but the week after that, we have Seoul, Shanghai, and then Seoul again. So yeah, we're fine.
yeah, that's still not.
Yeah, we're
I
fine.
think this. I don't think we're going to any sort of playoff situation. I think this season might just be kind of done. And it's not like we're at the bottom of the standings, right? We're just not a strong team, because we've completely started over with a roster that is maybe just out of their depth in terms of the majority of them and what they're handling. I don't know. I don't know where the team is really progressing, and I'm not sure where like London wants to kind of go in their direction, if they want to really stick with having 12 rookies still on the team for next year and seeing where they can go from there or not, or if they want to actually try to get some bigger name talent or something. I don't know. I'm not sure even how the Overwatch scene is doing, especially with games like Valorant coming online and everyone, or not everyone, but a lot of people jumping ship to play that game, since it seems to have a more friendlier, upcoming esports environment and all that.
Yeah, and Overwatch 2 will come out soon, and I don't think that's going to revive the scene, but at least they're trying something, I guess.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in Overwatch 2, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, especially if they charge for it. If they like charge people who bought the first Overwatch, they're gonna see a lot of people not buy it, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the deal is. I'm trying to remember. I think maybe there was something of, it was maybe going to be free for like a certain aspect of the game. I think maybe for multiplayer, but I think if you wanted to do like all the single campaign, like the single player campaign stuff, you'd have to pay for it, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on it, but it's definitely a weird situation of how they're trying to handle it. And I just don't trust Blizzard to
would be
try to
cool.
make a good decision.
That's also true. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. That's in the future.
Yeah, we'll try to see what happens. I'm really mostly just curious to see what's going to happen once the season ends and the off season starts. If C9 is really set on keeping this franchise spot, what are they going to do with the team? That's my main question, and I'm really curious to see what's gonna happen.
Something tells me that if they got a good offer, they would sell it, but I guess I don't know. It's too early to say.
Yeah,
To be honest, there's still 4 or 5 weeks left in Overwatch
I
League for
think so.
playoffs.
Yeah,
So we still got a while.
yeah. But moving on, I guess, to the main course, we do have League of Legends. We went 1-1 this week, Frozen, and I guess we should start off with just the Evil Genius's loss and kind of what was going on in that match.
Yeah, we kind of just got outplayed.
I think it wasn't so much outplayed, but I think it was more just we were making a lot of dumb decisions. It was mostly, and mostly I think part of it was that Licorice was just making a lot of really weird teleport plays and just kind of running in at the wrong times. Decision making was not on point that day, and I really hate that he goes for the Bork build. I understand why you would want to because it's more of a laning build. You know, you go Blade of the Ruin King, you go Triforce. You have a lot of damage to deal with just laning 1v1. You can kind of sustain and do enough damage that it makes it kind of difficult to really play against you. But it makes him so squishy that when you're playing someone like Set who really needs to take a lot of damage just to kind of walk up to do what he needs to do, you're really not that useful, and you're just tanking. You know, every time he was running into a fight, he would be at like a third HP always, and then he would die shortly after. You know, and he would be like, okay, well, what can I do? I can maybe use my Showstopper ultimate to like get someone closer, and you know, maybe do a face breaker, do my W move to get that shield and kind of stall things. Mostly, it was just they had so many knockups on their team that anytime Liquor tried to get close, it was usually Alistar would stun him or knock him back, so his usual moves wouldn't work, and so he'd have to run at them again, and he'd already be like half dead. So I think it was a lot of positioning and just decision-making mistakes that made it to where the rest of our team really couldn't do anything. And we just had no way of stopping Evil Geniuses from doing what they wanted to do.
Yeah, and it is kind of scary that in 2 straight games, Licorice just kind of got outshined by the opposing top laner. And in this one, it was extra worrying by the fact that he was subbed in for this week. Uh, with a mid lane, or they had maybe a week of a practice with, and he still did not look too hot.
Yeah, I was also kind of shocked / impressed that Golden Glue was able to make so many Zoe spells connect. He made like Zoe is pretty much as useful as your skill shot accuracy, and he was hitting almost every sleep, almost every star paddle, and it was to the point to where as soon as you got hit with something, you were dead. And one thing that kind of bugged me was that for our support choice, we chose Bard, which really doesn't have a lot of peel options. You know, our team in general didn't have a lot of peel options, which made it hard dealing with Alistar and the Zoe and everything. You know, and Sven played Volibear, didn't he? I think.
I'm not 100% sure.
I'm trying to remember just to be sure, but regardless.
But that sounds right.
Yeah, like regardless, like we just didn't have a lot of peel in general. You know, and I was thinking like, well, I know that, you know, with their composition seemed fine, even, you know, just from an on paper standpoint. You know, Ash Bard, you just basically just harass Alistar out of the lane altogether, and basically make it to where Alistar is always so chunked that he can't do anything. But we really didn't do that in lane, and you know, Sven was just kind of farming rather than trying to super poke out. You know, like I get our comp, but like I feel like drafting the Tom Kench would have been better. You would have had a safer support. Maybe you can't duel as effectively in your lane versus Evil Geniuses, but you have the safety of if you get a knockup, if you get a sleep bubble, you have at least one person to eat them and then reposition them to a safe spot. I think also Sven not buying QSS was kind of maybe just a little bit of a troll move. I know that they were behind and he had to get his items online as quickly as possible, but not having QSS or at least a cleanse when dealing with Zoe as an immobile carry, especially when you don't have a Tom Kench, feels kind of too cocky, you know, and it just really bugged me that it's like you're going against a Zoe that if you get hit with inability, you are dead. Why no QSS? Just to, one, stack up a little bit of MR, and two, if you get hit by the trouble bubble, you can just cleanse it and then not have to worry about it.
Yeah, and another thing was, or once the Zoe got strong, if someone got slept, there was no one to body block either. Like Set, build, damage, Bard. I'm assuming he went the tankier route, but like he doesn't get like tanky.
Bard's really not that tanky.
Yeah.
He's still pretty squishy, even if you were to stack some resistances. And Lee Sin's not going to be that tanky either. Like he has his shield, but it isn't really that strong. You know, especially if Lee Sin's already going in and he kind of used his W to maybe ward hop or something. So like if Blabbert already used his W for something, then it's like, well, he has no way of really shielding whoever gets, slept, and if they're too far away, the shield's not going to really do anything. Yeah, so they had really no defense against anyone that got just caught out in the open or off to the side or something.
Or yeah, and it's not a big shield or really, but I'm mostly disappointed with the team overall because they brought in a mid lane, or they signed during the week, and that they played their sub top laner basically. I guess that's not totally fair because
that you can't really call Huni a sub top laner.
Yeah, but Licorice dumped on him all last split, and pretty much in the past too. Like Huni's not what he once was, and getting beat by Gold and Glue rather than Jizuke feels bad when we should have played a lot better.
Yeah, I think as a final kind of overall for this game, I think that for this game, as well as the 100 Thieves game last week, I think that mostly we lost because we were trying to do comps that really didn't fit our strengths. And I can get that we're experimenting, especially with going 1-1 this week. We were able to lock in for playoffs. So we're officially locked in for playoffs, but I think we weren't really playing to our strengths. Our map movements have not been as crisp and clean as, the first half of the split or last split, or even just playing against FlyQuest. I think we were trying compositions and everything that don't get to our strengths and what our usual strategies are. And that could be just a sign that the meta is shifting. I know that Vulcan had an interview with Travis Gifford, and he said that the meta has moved to becoming much more snowbally. So if you just make more mistakes in the early game, you're more likely to lose. And maybe they're trying some different things. They also were just not playing very great. It could be a lot of factors, but I think that those two games, it was definitely them not playing for their advantages. And in doing so, it kind of put them in a worse spot than usual.
And I do also think that that's kind of making excuses for the team because Ashe is meta now. Bard is one of the most picked supports in the East with the highest win rate in, I think I said LCK or LPL, with like a 70-something% win rate across almost 50 games. Syndra is a mid lane staple and has been for 4 or 5 seasons now. Lee Sin is probably the most played jungler across the world, and Set has been the most presence top laner since he came out, I think. So I do think that's also kind of making excuses for poor play because it's not like they were really trying anything new. Like these are really high presence champs also. And
no, yeah, you're totally right.
And it's not like they pulled out like a Rammus Yumi build or something crazy like that.
Oh, that'd be so wild if they did that though.
Yeah. I read something on the League of Legends subreddit today that if you build Knight's Vow and attach it to Yumi, then you get 15% move speed moving towards her, but you're always moving towards her because she's on top of you. So you always get a 50%
Oh, so you're just always
movement
faster?
speed. Yeah, so you get like a Hecarim or a Rammus by or Olaf by Knight's Vow, and then you're just Usain Bolt at the Olympic speed all game.
That's hilarious. Like I want to see a video of that just to see. I always love when movement speed goes really high in the game because you just look so comical.
Yeah, it just looks so dumb.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll come back since Yumi got buffed again.
Yeah. But I guess saying enough, moving on from saying a lot of negative things about the team, I think on the one positive, we looked to pretty much be back into form versus FlyQuest, and we pretty much had our A game that game, and we played exactly how we should from the draft to how we played. Like, I think our draft was really, really good, and it pretty much hit everything that we wanted to do in how we play. The one thing that I found kind of odd was maybe picking Kale. That was mostly because I haven't seen a lot of Kale, and usually when I saw Kale, I think Kale maybe lost. So it was kind of weird seeing the Kale pick, but there didn't seem to be much else in terms of top laners and how you wanted to fit within the composition with top laners. So Kale was kind of really not that much of a deciding factor, really.
No, and into Ornn, it's a relatively easy lane, and your only job is to just sit there and farm. So it's not a very
Yeah, you weren't.
interactive
Yeah,
lane.
Licorice wasn't really. It wasn't really threatened by the Ornn Trundle top jungle duo.
Although I think you should be able to get dove pretty easy into that because Trundle and Ornn do a decent amount of damage.
Yeah,
and,
you can.
and they're tanky as hell.
I would imagine you could if you did the Bellows Breath knock-up combo, and then immediately after that, put up a pillar behind you. You could probably do some really good damage, if not kill Kale. But I think that requires a lot of coordination, and you'd have to kind of be in a spot where you could do that. But if you had vision control of just like the river or whatever, I don't think that you'd be able to actually pull it off a lot.
Yeah, and but the kill all, it makes it difficult, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I do feel like the rest of the draft was just kind of, we're just gonna do our thing because we're better than them, and it wasn't much of a game. FlyQuest hasn't improved at all, I don't think, since the last split.
No, if anything, they've kind of. I'm not sure if it's the increased competition between all the other teams or if FlyQuest is just kind of really regressed to what they kind of were. They really haven't been playing well the second half of the split. You know, they're 6-6 now, which is not what you wanted to see from a team that was contesting to win the championship last split. But I think that for that game, honestly, I think the draft was something that we looked much more comfortable on. You know, we banned out Aphelios, and so we didn't have to worry about the insane hyperscaling of that. And we got to pick a Callista Thresh bot lane, which Vulcan and Sven are really, really comfortable on. Niski's really comfortable on Galio and able to make those really good roaming plays through his ultimate. Faber's okay on set. I haven't decided if he's super good on set or not, but you know, he looked really comfortable in that game and playing him, and Licorice seemed to be able to be much more coordinated, and he seemed to feel a lot freer as Kale versus, you know, a couple of the games that he had last week. I think that one key thing is that we had bot lane in a stronger side than top lane this time around. And I think we need to maybe go back to having bot be the strong side of the map versus top lane. Because the past few weeks we've been trying to make top lane be the strong side. And it's worked the majority of the time until the last couple of matches, but I think that Sven and Vulcan just look much more comfortable when they're having a lot more jungle presence. They're able to like do objective control and take the dragons and do all that.
Yeah, or I think part of that was because of the Galio Global. Because if Blabber goes down there and so does Santorin, then they outnumber them for a 4-3 and can easily take the objectives that way also.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and it helps to have some global support to Kale. And Kale in that match is just kind of a farm bot until she gets to at least 11.
Yeah, I think, I guess to FlyQuest defense, they probably would have been able to make the match a lot closer if they didn't just stick Ignar on Pantheon support.
Yeah,
And
that was kind of bizarre.
It was a weird pick, and plus, like, the game accelerated to such a point where the Pantheon support just becomes so useless. Like, he was so far behind everyone else in the game, and it made him just such a useless pick. His global ult became useless, and he just did nothing. He couldn't do anything, and so it was basically a 4v5 for FlyQuest the entire game after laning phase ended, and we were already really far ahead.
Yeah, and which is weird because we drafted the Kale and they didn't, but it really felt like a worthless pick. Like, in lane, it didn't do anything.
Yeah,
At 15 minutes, Wild Turtle was down 30 CS. So it's not like it did anything. And I mean, I think once we got the Galio Callista, it was kind of just over anyway.
yeah. You have a lot of knockups and you have a lot of CC and safety with that comp versus what we had before. Like, I don't think that you could easily kill someone super quick with the comp that C9 had, because you had the tankiness and everything of Set. You had the Kale ultimate, of course. You had Galio's heroic entrance along with his taunt and knockups. You had Thresh and all of his CC, and then you had Callista, who can dash around. Plus, her Fate's Call is able to kind of get Vulcan out of sticky situations and also allow him to re-engage with that knockup. So you just had so many knockups and so much safety that I think it would be really hard to play out team fights fairly and try to get anything really done.
Yeah, and they didn't have enough damage or anything at the end of the day to really do much.
Yeah.
I do kind of like the idea of Ezreal Pantheon, but it was not executed very well at all. So
No, it wasn't.
yeah, so
But I guess we should
rough.
move on and talk about our matches for next week. Saturday, July 25th at 5 p.m. Eastern, or not? No, 7 p.m. Eastern. I got my times mixed up. 7 p.m. Eastern. Cloud9 plays against Immortals, and Sunday, July 26th at 5 p.m. Eastern, Cloud9 plays against Team Liquid. So, what do you think about this weekend?
I'm going to reintroduce a segment
Okay.
from our show with Skeleton a couple weeks ago. So yeah, we're playing Immortals first. Our percentage odds of beating them are almost 90%.
Ooh, I like those odds.
Yeah, I think that is a bet I would gladly take, but you also have to bet $850 to win 100.
Huh.
So not really worth it to me
Yeah.
in that case. But yeah, Immortals has actually probably been the most improved team from the first half of the split. They were absolute garbage. They were dog shit. They had nothing going for them. But Insanity's been decent. Alarum, is that how you say it?
It's Alorum.
Alarum,
He's
yeah.
definitely
Sorry.
been like
He
a
stepped
big
up.
breakout kind of rookie to come up from Academy.
Yeah, he stepped up. I mean, they're still sitting in 9th place, tied with Dig, but they were in a grim spot.
That was
4
also
weeks
as
ago?
Ica's fault.
I mean, it was everyone's fault. They were hot garbage,
True.
but
True.
so I mean, it's not a team that we should lose to, but I also said that about 100 Thieves in Evil Geniuses. But
I think that
in this case we straight up just match up with them down the map like easy. Like, at least Evil Geniuses in 100 Thieves have great top laners. So they had that going for them, and Bang. But Immortals doesn't really have much.
yeah, I think that this should be a pretty standard game. I would be really shocked if we lose. Like you said, Immortals has really improved a lot, and I think that this squad that they for some reason had in Academy, is looking so much better than their starting roster. I think really what we should do is just ban out some really easy power picks. Just ban out Aphelios. Maybe I guess ban out Karma, since that's a big pick now. Maybe, ban out Aphelios. Maybe ban out Volibear, because Volibear is somewhat a high priority pick. I'm not sure about that. Or maybe just Zoe. Just easy, picks that playing them nets you so much of an easy win just for how they were designed and how they play. I would put priority on them, and then I would honestly say maybe just try what we did with FlyQuest, maybe play more towards the bottom half of the map, since I feel like our bot lane and how our team plays a lot better when bot lane gets more priority and we're able to secure first dragon, and then at 8 minutes, we kind of rotate to the top half of the map, we secure Rift Herald, and leveraging those advantages, then we kind of spread those leads out and start taking towers and spread that around to the other parts of the map. I think that if we play like that and just don't do anything too stupid, I think we win for sure.
Yeah, and as long as we don't cheese draft, and even if we did, I honestly think we should just win the game. We match up with them far too well, and it would take quite a bit for Immortals to pull something together and beat us. But we have seen a few cheese drafts that have not worked out well for us the split, and I would be very surprised if we were to lose this game.
Yeah, same. Team Liquid, on the other hand, I would not be as surprised to lose, because Team Liquid are playing so much better than they did in spring. I think Impact especially. Impact has been having one of the best splits that he's had in a little while. He's playing on point and he's playing really great. Jensen's playing well. Their bot lane with Tactical and Core JJ has actually been really, really strong. I think we're going to have to pull out a lot of stops and strats to make sure that Team Liquid loses this weekend. And we need to beat them so we can secure the first place spot and try to get that first place seed going into the playoffs.
Yeah, and if we slip up at all, it could be super easy for Team Liquid to pass us and win the regular season of the split. It does make a big difference with how the bracket is for teams who finish top 2, I believe. So, I mean, obviously our goal is top 2, but we could fall behind really fast, especially if we lose this game. Team Liquid's super hot. They have their own set style that they've been playing the way they've been playing for the last 4 years, where it's slower, play through mid, farm mid up, tactical, just farms. Core JJ does everything else. So we'll have to see how it goes. What do you think our odds of winning this game are?
I'd say maybe like 75%, 80%. I think that we have a really good shot at winning, but I think it will come down to us having a good draft and playing to counter what TL wants to. I think that one thing that we have that TL doesn't is that we have a much more aggressive playing jungler. Roxa is really kind of a passive jungler, and I think that if he doesn't see sort of a surefire play, and if he doesn't see something as being super successful and super advantageous, he really doesn't go for it. And sometimes he'll just stay and farm in the jungle more. Whereas Blabber looks to make more plays early and to kind of do more aggressive moves early. So I think that if Blabber's on a good pick and Blabber doesn't kill himself nonstop, I think that would be really advantageous. Honestly, I think since how well Impact is playing, you may want to camp Licorish's lane. I'm not sure, considering, Brox is going to be looking towards mid and bot a lot. You may want to just go there to answer him so he doesn't do that. I'm not sure. I think he's definitely going to try to get Jensen and Tactical ahead. So either you act that by trying to get Licorice really far ahead, or trying to stop him and flip it around so Sven and Niski can get ahead. I really don't know. If like Licorice was playing something like Ornn, I think that would be really helpful, since Licorice can kind of go even or lose, but with all the Ornn items and how his scaling works, he can still do a whole lot, even by kind of sacrificing top lane. So you can maybe go that way, but I think it's all about, trying to counteract what they want to do and having a draft that really allows us to be successful and be successful before TL can be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and oh yeah, so Bavado has us winning at a 71% chance.
Ooh,
So a little bit closer, which seems about right to me.
yeah, I think that's a fair.
If you're going to gamble responsibly. I think I have to say that.
You have to say that.
But or yeah, going off what you were saying, I feel like this is the premier clash of styles. Like Team Liquid's like outdated style, which always is successful in NA, versus our Blitzkrieg kind of thing style. But I'm not 100% sure that we're gonna draft like the Galio or Twisted Fate or the Talia, I guess is a a global. But because I thought that we would do that against TSM, but we kind of drafted a late game comp against them. So I wonder if we're going to just try and Blitzkrieg them to death, or if we're going to try and play them at their own game. I think we should be able to win either way, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the draft is going to go. I think in terms of bans, you'd probably want to make sure Jensen doesn't get anything he's super good at. Like, don't give him his LeBlanc. When he was on C9, he actually got a record, I believe, for most kills in a single game or something.
Oh yeah, that was wild.
Yeah. Don't give him LeBlanc. Maybe don't give Core JJ his Tom Kench. I could maybe see. I think Shen got some buffs. I could maybe see us taking Shen if we're coordinated enough. I think that in terms of power picks, I would much prefer us having Galio versus not taking Galio, because since he's risen up in priority a lot, since globals seem to be a really hot thing right now, and Twisted Fate will probably be banned. But I could see, I'd really like us to take Galio. I would really like us to ban Aphelios. I think that's the thing that we just have to do, because how he functions is so stupidly strong. And even though he's been met with so many nerfs, it's just how his kit fundamentally functions. And that you can do so much idiotic damage just with Infinity Edge, Rune's Hurricane. I think that you just have to ban him so you don't allow them that big of a damage resource. And I think that from there, just pick comfort picks and make a comp that you're both comfortable on, and also see you kind of countering some things and having success on.
Yeah, and if we can get it, I would prefer we just do the Galio Callista game again, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But what are you predicting this weekend?
I think I've always said 2-0, so I'm gonna continue to go that route.
Okay, I'm gonna say 1-1. A soft 2-0, a hard 1-1. We dropped some games this.
Who do we lose to? Immortals.
I would see us losing probably to Team Liquid.
All right, well you can fuck off, because that's not happening.
I mean, my basis is that we've dropped a couple of games so far, and I'm not sure if it's C9 trying different stuff out or what, but they've been sloppy for past few weeks. I could see us losing to a team, especially a team that's really trying to challenge everybody just like we are. So,
yeah, I feel like if we don't beat Team Liquid, then we're not going to win the regular split. So it's a really important game.
Yeah, it's definitely an important game. That's all for us, I believe, unless you don't have anything else.
Nope, that's it. I'm gonna go watch Liverpool lift the trophy.
All right, well, thanks for listening, everybody. Be sure to follow us at C9 Bodied, and we will see you next time.
Bye.